Smith, and I want to share with you 3 P's: my professional resume, my party resume, and my passion. So let's start off with my professional resume. I'm a Powell High School graduate, 1987, go Panthers. I also graduated from Carson-Newman University, then Carson-Newman College in 91, and I have a master's degree from Duke University. Along the way, my first job was at Mutual Business Graphics on Brickyard Road in Powell during my summers. If anybody knows where that is, Bo, you do, where I was carbon boy. And so I did the midnight shift, and I was carbon. I was covered in soot, and I was sweaty and tired, and it was the hardest job. And it taught me that I didn't want to be carbon boy all my life. But the first job that I had that involved working with people and interacting with people was working in the circuit court clerk. I worked for Lillian Bean, and a lot of you remember Lillian, and so I worked with Lillian when I was in summers when I was in college. That was a good experience, and I got to see how hard the ladies in the circuit court office worked. So in 2002, me and my family, we opened up our business. We started off from Broadway. Now we're at 6820 Central Avenue Pike, across from Rusty Wallace Honda. It's called Scott Smith Insurance, and what we do is group health insurance, group benefits, HR solutions, and we help people convert their 401ks into guaranteed retirement income. And we've been doing that since 2002, been in our current location since 2005. So that's my professional resume. So that's just to let you know that I have 18 years experience working with groups and working with groups to know how to solve problems for employee organizations. And I can do that for you. Now let's talk party resume. I'm 49 years old. In 1987, when I turned 18, I registered to vote, went down to the Powell Library, registered to vote like a lot of people did. And I have voted in every single primary in every general election since I was 18. And I'm proud of that, and the reason I am is because my dad, who served in Korea, said, "Son, you can't ever pay me for what I did in the service in Korea." Dad was there in 52 and 53 when it was hot. He says, "But what you can do is you can honor all the men and all the women who served to give you the right and give you the freedom by actually showing up and caring and voting every year." So we'll do that. And along the way, I have served in campaigns. My 2 favorite campaigns that I served in was Fred Thompson. Anybody remember Fred Thompson? I was in the leadership campaign back in '94 with Fred Thompson, and enjoyed it very much, made some lifelong friends there. And in 2010, worked very hard to get Tim Burchett elected because he's a good friend of mine. In 2014, I was elected to the State Executive Committee, which some of you may not be familiar with, but it's basically the leadership team of the state party. And last year I was honored to not only be part of the elected board, but the state chairman, Scott Godin, appointed me to the administrative board. So I'm the executive council of the executive committee. And so, and I'm a giver. I have given to the local party financially. I've given to the state party financially. I've given to the national party financially. And so I think it's important. Why? Because when you are going to the ballot and you're electing somebody, you want to make sure that they're actually a Republican, not just because they stand up one day and say so, because they have a life record of proving so. And so I can assure you, with Bo shaking his head, he understands. You need to have a lifelong record of proving who you are, not just showing up because you think a job might pay well. The third thing is passion. And for those of you who've known me all my life, sitting back there, people who've known me all my life, if nothing else, I have passion. On a daily basis, 30 seconds.
You're good, yeah.
On a daily basis, we get, I get inboxes, I get text messages and phone calls from people involved in the juvenile courts. And first of all, let me say, the juvenile courts is the bulk of what we do in the circuit court clerk. And as your next circuit court clerk, I'm going to move my head office over off Division Street, because that's where the heavy lifting in this office is done, and that's where my main office is going to be. Nearly every single day, I get calls from parents and grandparents who are involved in the juvenile system, both defendants and plaintiffs, and they're telling me that something's got to happen, something's got to give. There's a bottleneck there, and things are so slow, and it seems like it may not be the case, but it feels like the case where people just don't care. And there's a lot of frustration in the juvenile system. And yes, we do need to modernize, and we will. Attorneys are telling me that we desperately need to have the electronic data filing system, which we will have. Memphis, Nashville, Chattanooga, they all have converted this office over to one that's completely electronic and paperless. We could have done so years ago, but we haven't. But we will. And so I come here today, seeing a lot of friends here, and telling you that I really do appreciate you, and appreciate your friendship, and I would appreciate your vote.
Cool.
Thank you so much.